Ladies and gentlemen, we will be now starting our program shortly. At first, our guests here will be welcomed with flowers. For that, I would like to request the program officer to please come to the front. Yeah, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, a very warm welcome to the unveiling of the Kano BSTQM Quality Launching Ceremony. To all the guests sitting here at Chonarga Hotel, I hope you're having a wonderful evening. The purpose of this ceremony today is to discuss with you the impact of awards in enhancing quality management in organizations. This program is also being broadcasted all over social media across all mainstream platforms such as Facebook and YouTube. Let us now officially commence this wonderful program. And what better way would it be to start it than listening to recitation of verses from the Holy Quran? For that, I would like to call on stage Hafiz MD Ansar Uddin. Thank you.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر صدق الله العظيم অর্থ হচ্ছে সময়ের শপথ নিশ্চয় মানুষ ক্ষতির মধ্যে রয়েছে কিন্তু তারা ব্যতীত যারা ঈমান আনে ও নেক আমল করে আর পরস্পরে একে অপরকে ন্যায়ের উপদেশ দেয় এবং পরস্পরে ধৈর্য ধারণের উপদেশ দেয় বারাকাল্লাহু লানা ওয়া লাকুম ফিল কুরআনিল আযীম আসসালামু আলাইকুম ওয়া রাহমাতুল্লাহি ওয়া বারাকাতুহু
Good evening once again. I am Fayaz Ahmed, your Master of Ceremony for tonight. In the pursuit of business excellence, organizations worldwide strive to deliver exceptional products and services while continually improving their processes. Quality awards play a pivotal role in recognizing and promoting excellence across various industries. They have made significant contributions to the industry by driving organizations towards excellence in quality management. So in regards to that, the Kano BSTQM will launch this quality award for the first time ever. This quality award will be the highest accolade that will be given to organizations for business excellence through their customer focus. The award will confer to the qualifying organization in recognition to their attainment of international competitiveness intended for business promotion. This will be the most prestigious award to recognize outstanding achievement in quality management. An organization may achieve this prestigious award on fulfilling the required criteria. Now let us talk about the board that has been formed to regulate this quality award. A national steering committee has been formed, which will guide and steer all activities of KBQA. Being involved with the national steering committee comes with an added responsibility. Some of the qualities that the members of this committee must have include honesty, ethical, while at the same time be judgmental, to be able to conduct a neutral, unbiased, and fair award selection process. Now, it's time to introduce to you the members of the National Steering Committee. At first, we have Professor Dr. Engineer Ihsanul Haq, Chairman, KBQA National Steering Committee, NSC. Former member, University Grants Commission of Bangladesh, former Vice Chancellor, Khulna University of Technology, of Engineering and Technology, Kuwait. And also former Professor, Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology, Buet. And lastly, Treasurer, Bangladesh Ethics Foundation. Up next, we have Professor Dr. Engineer Ihsanul Haq. He's the member secretary of KBQA National Steering Committee, NSC. I'm so sorry. Apologies for the interruption there. So up next, we have Professor Dr. Amina Begum, who's the member of KBQA National Steering Committee, NSC, and former member, University Grants Commission of Bangladesh, and former professor, Department of Physics, Dhaka University, and vice chairman, Bangladesh Ethics Foundation. Moving on, we have Professor Dr. Engineer Rezwan Khan. He is the member of KBQA National Steering Committee, NSC, Professor of Electrical Engineering, BUET, and former Vice Chancellor, United International University, UIU, and lastly, member of Bangladesh Ethics Foundation, BEF. Unfortunately, Professor Rezwan Khan is not here with us today for some emergency. He had to visit the United States of America, as he's right there now, and so yeah, he, on behalf, he's not there. So, moving on. Up next, we have Engineer MD Abdul Awal. He's the member of KBQA National Steering Committee, NSC, and Chairman and Managing Director, the Structural Engineers Limited, and former President, Bangladesh Society for Total Quality Management, BSTQM. And also, former President, Real Estate and Housing Association of Bangladesh, REHAB. Also, there will be a representative from FBCCI, and not to mention, there will be another representative from the Ministry of Commerce who will be present in the National Steering Committee for the award selection process. Then we have AMM Khairul Bashar, who's the member of KBQA National Steering Committee, an advisor, Bangladesh Society for Total Quality Management, BSTQM, advisor, Bangladesh AOTS Alumni Society, BAS, and advisor, World Council for Total Quality and Excellence in Education, WCTQEE. And lastly, he's the former president of Bangladesh Society for Total Quality Management, and also one of the founder. He's also the former president of Bangladesh AOTS Alumni Society, BAS. Lastly, we have Dr. AKM Muazzam Hussain, advisor, KBQA National Steering Committee, NSC. Former professor, University Technology Malaysia, UTM. And associate professor and head of a department, Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology, BUET, and also the honorary advisor of BSTQM, BAS, CAS, and NAS. Thank you. Now, moving on.
Let me interfere. Ladies and gentlemen, just a little correction. We have missed one of the very important member of the National Steering Committee, Professor Dr. M.M. Kovir. He is the president of BSTQM. There was some mistake in the slides, so you have seen that. Professor Kovir was the Vice Chancellor of the University of the Asia Pacific. Currently, he is the professor of the Daffodil International University. And he is the president of Bangladesh Society for Total Quality Management. Thank you very much.
Apologies once again for the hiccup there. So, moving on. Now, I would like to call on stage once again Mr. AMM Khairul Bashar, member, National Steering Committee, to give a brief outline on KBQA and also to give a warm welcome to everybody here. Thank you.
এই ফাইলটা কোথায়? ফাইলটা কোথায়? এটা এটা দেখ। না, এটা আবার খুলে হয় নাই তো। এই তো এটা হচ্ছে না কেন? এই যে এটা আসছে না। Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take the opportunity to welcome you all to this very important event of Bangladesh. For the first time in the history of Bangladesh, though we have passed about 50 years after independence, we are going to have a system of national quality awards named Kano BSTQM Quality Award. So this is the launching ceremony of that award system. And you have been introduced with the National Steering Committee, which will work independently in administering this award. And I welcome Professor Dr. Noriaki Kano, who needs no introduction, because most of us who are sitting in this room are somehow his students, many of us. Those who have gone to Japan, maybe to JUSE, maybe to UTS program, has heard Professor Dr. Kano. This is his 4th visit. He came to Bangladesh 3 times earlier, twice physically and once virtually. And the virtual one was in 2020 in the ICQCC, where he presented the keynote speech. And that was very attractive. All of you remember salient features of that presentation. And Professor Dr. Kano, he's a very acclaimed guru of TQM worldwide. He is the topmost, to me, he's the topmost living quality guru and an expert on TQM. So the attraction of this program is a presentation from Professor Kano on the impact of quality system, or impact of awards on organizational development. That will be after a few speeches, he will make the presentation. I also welcome all the delegates who are present here, especially the members of National Steering Committee. Professor Dr. Amina Begum, she was in UK and came to Bangladesh last night, especially to attend this program. And she's a member of the National Steering Committee. And Dr. Ekwam Miyajam Hussain, he is also very busy. All of you know him very well, but he is contributing in this KBQA, and he is the advisor of the National Steering Committee. And Mr. Awal is also a member of the National Steering Committee, and Dr. M.M. Kobir. So I welcome all the members of the National Steering Committee, all the delegates, all the participants, members of the media who are here to make this program a success. Now, I will take the responsibility to give a brief outline of KBQA, that is Kano BSTQM Quality Award. Okay. So Kano BSTQM Quality Award. And I have only one objective to achieve through this presentation, that is to tell you the means of achieving excellence through KBQA. So talking a little about the background of the quality award system. Quality awards help organizations in 2 ways. One is it exerts an immeasurable influence on the development of quality in an organization. Any organization pursuing to go for the quality award, it needs to develop itself to be compliant, and driving organization towards excellence in quality management. Any organization pursuing this award has to follow a path of continuous improvement and excellence. And we know about the world-famous Deming Prize. We have here Professor Noriaki Kano, who is a Deming awardee. for individual as an expert. And it was named after Dr. Edward Deming. It is the longest running and one of the highest awards on TQM known to me in the world. It recognizes both individuals and organizations for their contributions to the field of total quality management and business that have successfully implemented TQM. An unwavering commitment to quality improvement, this Deming Prize Awards. Though it was initially known to be practiced, limited within Japan, now it is open to the entire world. Many organizations in our neighboring country, India, has received this award. And those organizations which have received this award provide a lot of learning opportunity to its visitors. I have visited a few of those, and whenever I visited those, I learned a lot of things. So this award's significant role is in recognizing and promoting excellence, driving organization towards continuous improvement, customer focus, and operational excellence. And so these are the things quality awards drive organizations to. And KBQA will follow a similar approach like that of Malcolm Beldridge and the Deming Prize Award. Though we are going to start initially following PDCA and continuous improvement, we are going to improve that one. In Bangladesh, in fact, BSTQM is making effort to establish a quality of system to boost quality and productivity. And this effort is going on for last many, many years. We met once again in the long past in this hotel with the representative of the government to promote a award system. Unfortunately, it didn't work at that time. This time, we are very fortunate to have Professor Kano with us, who was advising us for the last 2-3 years. He was providing us technical assistance and various types of supports, knowledge, so that we can establish a practical and welfare-oriented award system. So that's why we could meet here today. Since Bangladesh economy is expanding rapidly, time has become appropriate for such an important event to be launched. And it is also timely, taking consideration of our economic growth and the national development very recently. So the award not only adds prestige and value to the recipient organizations, it provides a global recognition, number one, contributing to its reputation and credibility. So the Kano BSTQM Quality Award, any organization who will be applying for it and receiving for it will play a vital role in the following issues. Number one, in promoting business excellence by raising the bar for quality standards and expectation. The organization that will be receiving this award will adopt a culture of continuous improvement so that it will be facing and upgrading its standards. It will foster a culture of continuous improvement. The organization will become customer focused and innovation within the organization will develop. So quality awards is the highest accolade given to organizations for business excellence through customer focus. An organization may achieve this prestigious award on fulfilling the required criteria. Now, there may be a question. The KBQA Quality Awards starts with K, and K stands for Kano. So why Kano? There is the obvious question. Why KBQA? And this award is named after world-famous acclaimed quality scholar, great professor, Dr. Noriaki Kano, especially for his love and affection, and contribution in quality, particularly to BSTQM and to Bangladesh. And you see, I have mentioned you just a minute before that we were endeavoring to promote this award in the long past, but we have failed. We could not be successful. From 2019, we started receiving advice from Dr. Kano, and we had a lot of meetings over Zoom and other networks. And after that, with his patronization, with his support, with his technical assistance, we have been able to establish these guidelines. So this is one of the prime reasons. So we all know we have one friend, a friend of BSTQM and a friend of Bangladesh. And he is Professor Dr. Nuriaki Kano. So establishment of quality. Kano came here, I think, first time in the year 2002 or 3, something like 1998. Yes. So that was the year Kano has supported BSTQM. BSTQM was just a newborn. It was born in 1994. So that was in 1998, only 4 years. With his support, we have started this monthly quality newsletter, which you get every month. So that was the first contribution Kano made to BSTQM. And his assistance in planning, designing, and documenting guidelines for KBQA. To add prestige, value, and international recognition. You see, we need an award, but this award needs to be recognized internationally. The organizations in Bangladesh which will be receiving these awards should have an international acclamation and a record and a reputation that it has a certain level of standards. So that is the reason we want to take the advantage of the name Kano, because he is international guru and a guru of this world. All students of TQM all over the world are his students. So we want to take that advantage for building our reputation and add our value. That's why K came first. It is KBQA, not BKQA. BSTQM is not first. K is the first. Because with his patronization, with his support, we have been able to do it. So it's KBQA, it is Kano BSTQM Quality Award. So the objective of this KBQA is to develop organizations with strong international competitive advantage. And through that, we want to ensure high performance standard, strengthen their management system, enhance their competitiveness. And some specific objectives are to help organizations elevate quality standards and expectations, to help organizations establish approaches to continuous improvement, to transform the organization towards excellence in quality. So these are the objectives of KBQA award system. So the system guidelines has been developed in a manner that any organization receiving this award will be achieving these objectives. So the benefits of KBQ are quite significant. An organization pursuing for quality award will need to undertake activities that will lead to effective understanding of TQM. The organizational process will be focused towards quality and dedicated to customers. A good culture will be established, leading to innovation and harnessing full potential of all its employees. And some specific benefits will be, number 1, achieving customer loyalty. Number 2, competitive quality product and services. Number 3, defect-free product and services. Number 4, good culture. And number 5, dedicated and committed employees. And number 6, continuously improving organization. So any organization pursuing this award system, there will be some assessment. And the assessment will be looking at all these benefits and the objectives that I have mentioned earlier. So now I will try to briefly explain how this KBUK is going to be administered. So National Steering Committee is the independent sole owner of this award system. So it will not be influenced by anybody. Though BSTQM is hosting this organization, bylaws as per the bylaws that has been developed with the involvement of Professor Kano, BSTQM will provide secretarial services to National Steering Committee only. So any organization needs to make an application to receive this award. An application has already been developed. It is available in the BSTQM website as well. And so organization needs to apply for it. The application, there are a lot of information needs to be provided. That's the first part. Then, when the organization applies for it, National Steering Committee will form an independent assessment committee. So this committee will review the modus operandi and the documented system. It will evaluate all the information that is available, the system that has been developed, whether the organization is adequate in terms of documentation and in terms of its system, in terms of its style and approach. Is it adequate system exists to comply for the award? So, in fact, it is not a system that you will apply and you will reject it, and you apply, it's not like that. The award system has been designed in a manner that there will be an assessment and there will be report. The client will be given this report and they will be given the opportunity to improve. And that is the most important part of it. So the organizations can get assessed, a very professional top-level assessment, and through that assessment, it will get the opportunity to improve. It can take a longer time, as much time is required to be compliant, first to in terms of adequacy. When an organization becomes adequate in documentation, there will be a compliance audit in the form of another assessment, site visit. The team of auditors will visit that organization on a defined, agreed mutual time and make a final assessment physically that they practice in that. So in that assessment, the audit team or the assessment team will look at their organizational culture, their practices, their system. Many of us, our organization certified to ISO 9001. So there also we get an assessment. Auditors raise objections. In response to that objections, we produce some documentation. And then we become compliant and we get the certificate. But this one is not going to be like that. Because organizational cultural practices has to be looked into. What practice do they make? It is not a document only. It is a system of practice that the organization is doing. That is what the assessors will look at. And a report will be produced. And the client will be given this report. And the clients can see in that report the areas of his improvement. So this is the second chance of improvement they can take. And they can, if required, they can utilize this opportunity of this report and improve themselves. And if necessary, they can ask for second or third assessment as well. So through these assessments, when the organization is found to be compliant, then the National Steering Committee will be deciding their award. So there is a little chance of failure, almost no chance of failure for the desired organizations who are intended to be, receive the award. So now I'll mention some of the criteria. These are not yet detailed. The National Steering Committee in its next meeting will detail out all these assessment procedure. So there are quite a few headlines. First thing is that the fundamental categories, the management policies and development. So 50 points will be there. Maintenance, improvement of product and production system, 50 points. Establishment of system and managing quality, quantity, delivery, cost, safety and environment, 50 points. And human resource development, 100 points. And that adds to 250 points in total. The next category comes understanding total quality management. Top management's vision and business strategies, 100 points. Remarkable improvement of organizational performance, 50 points. Establishment of the management foundation, 100 points. That comes to, again, 250. And the role of the top management. Understanding of the enthusiasm towards TQM, how much leadership is given by the top management. That is 100 points. Top management leadership, vision, strategic policies, and insights into environmental changes. That is 100 points. That adds up to 200. And the last one is the miscellaneous engagement of people. We all understand it, how you are taking people in the organization are involved and participated, 100 points. Handling customer complaints, 100 points. And becoming customer focused, 100 points. That comes to 300. And the total adds up to 1,000 points. So an organization needs to secure in total 70% and at least 50% in each of the category. Then they become compliant to be recognized as awarded. So regardless of the type of business, any organization can apply for this prize under certain conditions, be it public or private, large or small, domestic or overseas, or part of or entire organization. There is no limit to the number of potential recipients of prizes each year. All organizations that score the passing points for or higher upon examination will be awarded the KBQA. So this is in brief, I wanted to share with you the salient points, how KBQA is going to be administered. Now, the root of this KBQA is Japan and the Professor Kano. And that country is very famous for Shinkansen, the Shinkansen speed, the bullet speed train. So, fastest train ever made in the world in Japan. So instead of having only one engine, in our train system in Bangladesh, we have railways, we have got only one engine at the head that pulls all other, all other bogies. But in the bullet train, there is an engine below it, each compartment. And that's why it has a bullet speed. So my question is, to achieve this award, to be able to comply, organization needs to work together with all its 100% engagement and involvement of its employees, utilizing full human resources and talents. So that's what we need to do. And so we need to take initiative and drive. An organization's ability is some of the contribution of all its people. Are you ready? That's the thing to be asked. So I want to leave it here. Are you ready? And today, most of us who are participating here, we represent various organizations, both public and private. I have gone through the list of the participants. And there are large and small enterprises. My question is to you. KBQA is ready. Today it is launched and installed. It's available to you. Are you ready? So if you are ready, there should be some actionable steps. Number one, study TQM and KBQA guidelines. That should be the first step. Then understand it and implement it. And in the process of understanding and implementing, you can take help from BSTQM and many other organizations through training, and even from Professor Kano. If you request, we can bring him again to Bangladesh to conduct a training session for the CEOs, maybe 1 day or 2 days like that, so that you can understand the TQM and the KBQA process. So then apply for the award, get assessed, and get awarded, and address the entire organization. So with these few words, I welcome you all again in the world of this KBQA. I invite all the entrepreneurs who are sitting here in front of me to think about it and take the opportunity to apply for it immediately, maybe tomorrow. Okay. Thank you very much.
Short prayer break for 15 minutes, and the ones who are interested in completing your prayer can finish your prayer here. And the ones who are fasting today, there are arrangements for breaking your fast. Thank you. We'll be back shortly, and after the prayer break, there will be many more speeches, and most importantly, there will be Professor Kano's presentation. Stay tuned. Thank you.
at least three times in Japan. Anyway, it is my joy to see him still a living guru in the quality world. Anyway, I'd like to share some of my lessons learned from Japan. Actually, the journey started in 1994. I went there to participate in a 3 weeks training program on TQM, and that was called SFQM for Iran and SAF countries. In fact, after 17 years of passing, graduating from Kuwait in 1977, it was very difficult to sit in the classroom even, particularly after the lunch break. Anyway, and it was more difficult to understand the lectures given by the Japanese senseis. They had been saying that quality has to be improved and cost has to be cut down. How can it be? And also, they had been trying to convince us that if quality goes up, cost will come down. I don't know how many of us still can believe in it. I could not believe at that time. Anyway, so 3 weeks time program was over, and I came back, and I was wondering how it is possible. That is my journey. And to get the answer of this question, how it is possible, wherever any seminar or symposium on quality was held, I just ran after. Right from Japan, then China, then Singapore, Malaysia, India, Pakistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. Wherever. I just became mad. And in the process, I was in Lucknow in a school. That is a different story, but I was once again stuck. There was a written, some placard. What was that? Quality is free. How comes? One side, quality has to be improved, cost has to be cut down. If quality goes up, cost will come down, and quality is free. Anyway, that is the reality actually. But how? I'm sorry, Mr. Kano, I will speak in Bengali a few words. আসলে আমাদের কোথাও যেন আমরা আটকে আছি। স্বাভাবিকভাবে আমার কাছে মনে হয়েছিল এটা কোনোভাবেই হতে পারে না। তাহলে কি জাপানিজ প্রফেসর কোন মিথ্যা গল্প বলে আমাদেরকে বোকা বানানোর চেষ্টা করছিলেন? নিশ্চয়ই না, কারণ তারা তো আমাদের মতো মিথ্যা কথা বলতে অভ্যস্ত নয়। ভুল বললাম? সরি। যাই হোক, যে কথা বলছিলাম, how to improve quality and reduce the cost. If quality goes up, cost will come down. কিসের কোয়ালিটি বাড়লে খরচ কমবে? একটা মজার অভিজ্ঞতার কথা বলি। 2008 সালে ICQCC was held in Dhaka. The chief guest was at that time, I just forget his name, Hussein Jillur Rahman, right. I was president at that time, and I received him in Sheraton Hotel. He asked me, কিসের কোয়ালিটি নিয়ে আমরা কাজ করছি? কি উত্তর দেব? আমি বলে বসলাম, মানুষের। উনি আটকে উঠলেন, এরা আবার কারা? মজার কাহিনী হলো, উদ্বোধনী শেষে যখন উনি বক্তব্য রাখলেন, প্রথম খালিদ বাশার সাহেব ওয়েলকাম অ্যাড্রেস দিলেন, আমি দু চার কথা বললাম, এবারকে নিশ্চয়ই বুঝলেন। শেষে যেটা বললেন সে কথাটা বলাটা বোধহয় অতিরঞ্জিত হয়ে যাবে, আমি আর সে কথাটা উচ্চারণ করবো না। তবে বিশেষ সাম ক্লাস অফ পিপল সম্বন্ধে বলছিলেন যে কোয়ালিটি তো দরকার আগে ওনাদের, আমরা বুঝে নিতে পারি কাদের কথা বলছেন, কোয়ালিটি তো দরকার আগে ওনাদের। যাই হোক, সে কথা যাক, কিন্তু কথা হলো যে হাউ ইট ইজ পসিবল, হাউ টু ইমপ্রুভ কোয়ালিটি। আবারও বলছে যে কোয়ালিটি বাড়লেই খরচ কমবে, এটা কী করে সম্ভব? কিসের কোয়ালিটি বাড়লে খরচ কমবে আসলে? মানুষের, দি হিউম্যান। If the quality of people goes up, cost will come down. Quality means the efficiency of the people, the workers. If the efficiency of the people goes up, the productivity will go up and cost will come down. Very simple. Sir, am I right? So, এখন কথা হলো যে কীভাবে লোকজনের এফিসিয়েন্সি বাড়াবো। তাইলে একটু ট্রেনিং অ্যান্ড এডুকেশন দরকার। কাকে ট্রেনিং দিব? আমরা তো মনে করি যে টাকা খরচ করে ট্রেনিং দিব, সে যে আমার সাথে আজীবন কাজ করবে তার গ্যারান্টি কোথায়? প্রশ্নটা ঠিক, কিন্তু আমি যদি বলি যে সেটা তো নির্ভর করে আমার উপরই, সে কতদিন আমার সাথে কাজ করবে সেটা আমার উপরই নির্ভর করে। কি ভুল বললাম? আমি ব্যাখ্যা যাচ্ছি না, সময় কম, আমরা প্রফেসর কানোর প্রেজেন্টেশন শুনবো। তবে কথা হলো যে একটাই, যে আমরা তো ভালো মানের পণ্য উৎপাদিত হোক সেটা আমরা চাই, উই ওয়ান্ট কোয়ালিটি প্রোডাক্ট। কিন্তু যে কাজটা করতেছে সে ভালো আছে তো? আমার যারা এমপ্লয়ি ওয়ার্কার তারা ভালো আছে তো? তারা কি শারীরিক এবং মানসিকভাবে সুস্থ আছে? তাদেরকে যে বেতন দেই সেই বেতনে কি তাদের চলে, নাকি নুন আনতে পান্তা ফুরায়? তারা কোথায় ঘুমায়? ঘুমায় তো? এই প্রশ্নগুলোর উত্তর কিন্তু খুব গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। এক কথায় সুস্থ শরীর এবং সুস্থ মনেই ভালো মানের পণ্য উৎপাদন করা সম্ভব। সুতরাং আমাদের যারা কর্মী তাদেরকে সুস্থ রাখার দায়িত্ব কিন্তু আমাদের। তো যাই হোক, একটা প্রাসঙ্গিক প্রশ্ন এখানে আসে, সেটা হলো যে এমপ্লয়িজ আর অ্যাসেটস অর লায়াবিলিটিস, হোয়াট ডু ইউ থিঙ্ক? আমরা তো মনে করতেই পারে মাস গেলে যখন বেতন দিতে হয় লায়াবিলিটিস, নাকি? আসলেই কি তাই? আমরা যখন রিক্রুট করি তখন হয়তো তার কাছ থেকে খুব বেশি প্রত্যাশা নাও করতে পারি, না করাই উচিত না, করা উচিত না বটে। কিন্তু ওই তখন যদি তাকে লায়াবিলিটি মনেও করিও, তাহলে তাকে অ্যাসেটে মানে ট্রান্সফর্ম করার দায়িত্ব কিন্তু আসলে আপনার আমার। সেই জায়গাটা যদি আমরা সঠিকভাবে পালন করি তাহলে আমরা সুস্থ থাকতে পারবো। এখানে ডক্টর কানোর আর একটু কথা এসে যায়। 1998-এর যে সেমিনারে অ্যাটেন্ড করেছিলাম তখন ওনার ইয়ে থেকে কালকে আমি দেখলাম যে কোম্পানিজ প্রসপারিটি অ্যান্ড সার্ভাইভাল ডিপেন্ডস অন QPS। সেটা আবার কি বললাম? কোয়ালিটি অফ প্রোডাক্ট অ্যান্ড সার্ভিসেস। অ্যান্ড QPS ডিপেন্ডস অন QWL, কোয়ালিটি অফ ওয়ার্ক লাইফ। Quality of product and services depends on quality of product, quality of work life. And work life-টা কী জিনিস সেটা আমরা একটু চিন্তা করে নিতে পারি। যাই হোক, আমি আর কথা বাড়াবো না, বাংলা ইংরেজি মিলিয়ে যাই বললাম, আমি কিছু চিন্তার খোরাক দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করলাম। আপনারা জানেন আমার কোম্পানির একটা স্লোগান আছে, কোয়ালিটি কামস ফার্স্ট, প্রফিট ইজ ইটস লজিক্যাল সিকোয়েন্স। সরি, এটা আমার তৈরি করা কোনো ইয়ে নয়, এটা জাপানিজ ম্যানেজমেন্ট ফিলোসফি। Quality comes first, profit is its logical sequence. তো at the end of the day, quality will prevail. আসল কথা সেটা। আমরা ভালো জিনিস কিনতে চাই, বিশেষ করে জাপানিজ, এনিথিং মেড ইন জাপান, ডেফিনেটলি আমরা মনে করি না, এবং সত্যি কথায় এই কোয়ালিটি গুড প্রোডাক্ট। দামটা একটু বেশি হলেও আমরা কেনার চেষ্টা করি, আমরা পারি না, অ্যাফোর্ড করতে পারি না, যে কারণে ওই পুরনো গাড়ি ছাড়া আর কিছু ঢাকায় পাওয়া যায় না। ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে।
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insight. Let us now welcome Professor Dr. AKM Muazzam Hussain, Advisor, National Steering Committee, KBQA. Thank you.
Honorable Chief Guest, who is at this moment far away from here, Honorable Professor Dr. Noriaki Kano, Honorable Special Guests, Honorable Chairman of the National Steering Committee for KBQA, who is also not present here today here, distinguished guests, media representatives, Assalamu alaikum, good evening and kumbangwa. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to address this august gathering, and I am grateful to the organizers for giving me this opportunity. At first, I would like to tell you a little bit about the historical connection with Professor Dr. Noriaki Kano, who normally we normally address him as Kano Sensei. He is 1 year older than me. He is 83, I am 82. He is my elder brother, he is my guru. I have been a very fortunate person for being connected with AOTS in Japan since 1963, when I was a student in Japan. It is therefore a story of long 60 years. AOTS is a human resource development organization of Japan dedicated to help the developing countries of the world, mainly in the private sector. AOTS has trained so far more than 2,000 Bangladeshi people in Japan and more than 5,000 Bangladeshi people in Bangladesh in different areas, including quality management for different levels, from mid-level management to the top-level management. We came in touch with Kano Sensei through AOTS, where he has been the principal trainer on quality management. Many of our AOTS alumni in Bangladesh received training from Kano Sensei, either in Japan or in Bangladesh. Being inspired by him, as mentioned by Bashar's son, Mr. Bashar, we, the members of AOTS alumni, established BSTQM in 1996, and I am extremely proud for being one of its founding members. Through the excellent leadership of the founding president of BSTQM, late Mr. Mufiuddollah, followed by the subsequent presidents, namely Mr. M. A. Awal, you have listened to him just a while ago, Mr. M. Khairul Bashar, Professor Dr. M. R. Kabir. BSTQM has now grown into a national organization of the country and is now well known among all the industrial, services, and education sectors of this country. We deeply acknowledge the great support of Kano Sensei during our long journey of BSTQM. Secondly, we are again grateful to AOTS for linking ourselves to Kano Sensei this time as well. He is, as you know, he is an extremely busy person, going around the world. For the last 3 years due to COVID, he could not move, but again he has started moving, and India is one of his favorite destinations. He is advising a few Indian big companies. Now this visit was possible again through AOTS. We contacted AOTS, and AOTS contacted him, and he kindly agreed to come here on this occasion. And this time, as you know, this is one of our functions this time, and another one will be tomorrow. That is our annual quality convention, where Kano Sensei also will be there. In fact, as Bashar-san already mentioned, KBQA has been initiated with the personal contribution of Kano Sensei, and we are deeply grateful to him for supporting us to arrive at this milestone. I do hope that the KBQA will encourage all sectors of Bangladesh to excel in quality for our survival during the current competitive world and also in the future. Taking this opportunity, I would like to thank the government of Japan for helping us since 1964 through AOTS under the umbrella of METI, the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, in developing appropriate human resources for our country. We are also grateful to the Embassy of Japan in Bangladesh for its continuous support to our activities. Finally, we are grateful for kind presence of the Honorable distinguished guests here, and also our distinguished Kano Sensei for here. In fact, on his way back from India, he kindly agreed, for this visit. We really appreciate Kano Sensei for his kind visit and to encourage us to continue our activities. Thank you very much. I have been told to finish in 1 minute, and I hope I could do it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let us now talk about the person after whom this quality award has been named. Dr. Noriaki Kano, Professor Emeritus, Tokyo University of Science. He is widely known for his immense contribution in the field of quality and dissemination of knowledge worldwide. Some of his notable awards include 2021 Quality Laureate Award, the first recipient, Nobel Prize in the field of quality, International Academy for Quality, IAQ. 2016 Georges Borel Awards for International Achievements, European Organization for Quality. Then we have 2014 A.V. Feigenbaum Lifetime Achievement Medal, Asian Pacific Quality Organization, APQC. Up next, Dronacharya Award, Indian SOC for Quality, ISQ. Distinguished Service Medal, ASQ. 2006 EL Grant Medal, ESQ. After that, we have 2004 Harrington Ishikawa Medal, Asian Pacific Quality Organization, APQO. Up next, 2002 E-Jack Lancaster Medal, ASQ. 1997 Deming Prize for Individuals by Deming Prize Committee, JUICE. And lastly, 1997 Deming Lecturer by American Statistical Association, ASA, and many, many others. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Professor Dr. Noriaki Kano onto stage to share his insights on the impact of Quality Award in organizational development. Can we have a huge round of applause for him?
Assalamu alaikum. So I feel very honored to be invited here for that Kano BSTQM Quality Award launching ceremony and to make a speech. Thank you very much for this opportunity. So now that last time I was here, 2009, so say almost 14 years exactly come. And then this morning I come from the airport. So now I remember 19 years ago, 15 years ago, 14 years ago. At that time, say when I go back from here, I remember I took evening flight. So then I think I forgot exactly 2 hours or 3 hours or something. I have a sufficient time. But the traffic jam was so bad. That was I remember well. So this time also I expected very much. Yes, still it takes a time, but to say, this time I feel about that, very big change happened. One thing is that to say, last time I remember that when I leave here to the airport, always I heard about that very big noise by the concert of the so many cars, without continuously. So that, but this time, this morning come, I feel quite silent. Of course, somebody still making, but compared 15 years ago, I remember that. But to say, very silent. So now the culture change starting for quality, I think. And also another thing is last time that to say, I didn't remember, at that time I felt that say, Bangladesh maybe don't have the concept of rain because that the car is so much like this. But today, I feel that exactly I can clearly find about that three lanes. So that I can, of course crowded, but to say, had the rain and rain, I can find the space. So in this way, now that, so it has been come to be changing, that's very good news, I think. So now, today I'm talking about that impact of quality award in organization development. Now, thank you very much. Now, let me just a little bit to say, explain about myself. I am, say, my full-time work is academic area. And also that to say, in University of Tokyo University of Science and other University of Electoral Communications, I worked 32 years in this area, full-time. At the same time, I'm works as, my professor is that to say, Kaoru Ishikawa. He is very famous, that say, father of Kyoshisaku. So that I was supervised him since undergraduate to the PhD student. So in graduate school, I was mentioned to him, quality control has no laboratory in university, in the school, university. So that I must go to plant. Plant is our laboratory. By this reason, during the graduate school student, I must say, I had done various cooperative work within industrial people. So that to say, I main leg put on the say academic area, but another leg always go and back in the industry area. So that to say, and then so I have many various kind of that corporate executive and the visiting professor. For example, say I wonder that say you may know the name of Komatsu. Komatsu is that construction machine company. I have been that board members, and also that chemistry, that is also that another chemical company. Also, I was a corporate auditor like this, and also I'm also invited various company in the world for the visiting professor like this. So in this case, it means that say I'm working not only academic area but also industrial area. And also, say, I have worked domestically, but at the same time that, say, I have been to various kind of that international activities. So far that, say, I have been to 84 countries, of course, including my personal sightseeing, so on, but say, total, the country which I worked in quality that over the 60 countries. So I try to be 100 until 100 years old. But to say now, it's try to be that, okay? So in this way, I'm saying I'm working academic in domestic and academic area, and also in the area of that say overseas. Industrial also both sides like this. So that is that I'm working 2x2 matrix in this way. Yeah. So now, okay. Yeah, and also that to say, one thing more. So now that, so today, just say, what my awarding was to say, but also I have a eponymous award. So the name award with my name. So far, 3 names. One is that to say, it is done by the Ishikawa Kano medal. That is an Asian Network for Quality. And also that to say Kano Quality Award. That is the Technological Promotion Association, Thailand. And then medal, Excellence being Mohammed University in Dubai. So now that award. In addition to that, now I'm feel very honored that the establishment of that 4th medal. That is that to say Kano or BSTQM. So now, talk about that impact of quality award. But to say first, let's just share with you about the quality gurus. So I think you know the name of Dr. Deming, very famous, Dr. Deming Prize. So this is, you see, that a picture when he came to Japan first. That is 51, no, 1950, July. So it means that, say, about 72 years, so that is that. So, and also, you can see this time very bad, worst timing in the year. So it's a very high humidity, temperature may be similar here, say over the 30 degrees. But you can see that, say, a window is open. Okay? It means that no air condition. And also that very interesting, here you can see the slogan. Description here is that to say, let prosper the country through industrialization. You see, in any country, say, we can see slogan. What do you mean slogan? My understanding, usually slogan means that, say, the idea, idea of which we cannot realize it. Something like a dream. We have already made it. In this case, it's no more slogan. Okay? Slogan means that usually what we have, we like to do it, but we have not done. And then, so at that time, let's say, to make country, to make rich by industrialization, that is our dream, because it was so poor we are, like this. So now, you see, in that time, Dr. Deming came. And then at that time, he was 50 years old, because he was born 1900. So easily, I understand that, him. And then, this is 1977, 27 years later, okay? At that time, so we invited we visited US with my wife. So Dr. Deming invited his home at Washington, D.C. This is his library underground. So now, so you can see, now this is, that to say, almost 50 years ago. But to say, you can see no change, right? Very, okay. And then, now, this is my teacher, Professor Ishikawa Kaoru. And then, another gentleman whom we are very much we learned a lot, that is Dr. Juran. Maybe, from my viewpoint, the name of TQM comes from Dr. Feigenbaum. And the Japanese modern quality control started by Dr. Deming. But the substantial content of TQM we learned many things from Dr. Duran. So he was passed away. He was born 1904. So he was passed away this 2007. So now let's. So I'm talking. I'm thinking about what I should talk. Maybe that to say maybe if I had better to talk about that after the war. How we had a very difficult situation. How we can overcome this. Maybe this could be something that to say become a reference for the Bangladesh. So that is I selected, and then maybe I am that to say maybe today last person who knows about that. Not all, but some part of these activities. Say so that is maybe in this way. Let me talk about this. So after the end of World War II, the Japanese land, including farmland, was completely devastated. Not only Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but all the other area. So many tons of, megatons of air bombing, okay, completely destroyed. Tokyo is become completely flat. I remember that to say when I was there, if a small mound, something like several meters high, I can see all part of Tokyo, any place like this. So our economy faced all sorts of crises, especially food crisis was very serious. Many people died of hunger. So if we get US dollars, we could import focus from overseas so as to solve the problem. Our national strategy was to dramatically increase export. The first barrier our parent and our grandparent generation ran into was the world harsh reputation for quality of made in Japan product, cheap and poor in quality. I don't know how do you understand today, but to say so it is 1950s, 60s. At that time, made in Japan means just to say very cheap, but very poor quality. This had to be improved. That is our starting point, you see. So our quality is not for the, say, doing. Today we say customer satisfaction. At that time, we don't think about that to say people in Japan. We only think about that to say people in Japan only think very hungry, want to get the food. So we like to, why we need the quality? Because that we don't have no natural resources. How to, in order to buy the food from overseas, how we can do it? Only way that to export. So in this situation, our quality is bad. In the domestic market, maybe that to say government make a barrier, very protection policy, so on. That could be, even though people, you see, a poor quality, must say, accept it. But in the export market, it's a free market, competitive market. So without quality, nobody buy that. So it means that to say, how to prevent from hunger, that is quality. So at that time, I did not know at all about quality control. But at that time, just to say, I'm a primary school. But still, I remember the importance of quality. Importance of quality for the purpose of export. Export means that, say, for the food, for us. Our weakness, Japan had no natural resources for export. Our strength, we had such human resources as industrious and literate. but cheap labor with 80 millions at that time. Today, our population come to be that, to say, 124 million, year by year reducing. Say, the peak is come to be 130 something, but come to me 124 now. So, but I remember when I learned about that, to say, Bangladesh, I don't know when you have separated Pakistan and Bangladesh. When it was it? Huh? 1971, okay. At that time, first I learned about that Bangladesh. At that time, I think that the population of Bangladesh was very small than Japan. Maybe something 60 million, 50 million, something like this. 70 million, okay. At that time, we have already 80 million, okay? So that is. I remember I ran this national campaign in primary school when I was 10 years old. 1950s, JUSE is that central organization to promote the court in Japan, invited Dr. Deming and Dr. Duran and started to run from statistical quality control born in the US. We started quality control in Japan, not to satisfy Japanese consumers, but to satisfy overseas customers in order to earn US dollars, which was used so as to import food from overseas. That is our lifeline. We are now discovering the life effect of the 1950s national strategy in this venue. Here stands Noriaki Kano. You see, a man with 80 years old. His presence, my presence here is one of the evidence that successful. Because that say without this strategy, I might have been already died because of hunger. Not only, many of my generation say it's very difficult, but still that say recent now every year we have the alumni meeting, classmate meeting of high school and university so on. But maybe still that to say over 70% of classmates still alive. I think it comes from that, say, this kind of strategy, by this strategy, and then we could survive, and then still we can work like this. And then for this kind of success, we invite Dr. Deming Duran, and then we implement TQM. TQM is that to say, I'm very impressed with your organization. Your organization name is that, Bangladesh Society for TQM. In the World Quality Organization, how many are? It's not so many, okay? So it's a very unique organization, okay? In Japan, we promoted a lot, but to say, we don't have that, I don't know any organization include the name of TQM. We have many seminars with the title of TQM, but no organization. So like this. So that to say, so it means that the strategy has been successful owing to TQM. Now let me a little bit introduce what TQM. We understand. What is the secret for success in TQM? That is business and TQM. This is a secret. But what is the secret? Business and TQM, nothing. Okay? But you say, but not TQM and business. See? Business and TQM, but not TQM and business. Maybe some difficulty, but I can say golf and club, but not club and golf. Okay? Golf is objective. Club is tool. Club and golf mean that say tool first, and then objective. It's opposite. Okay? So that to say, you see, TQM, Gulf has also many kind of crowds, okay? TQM is also more than Gulf. So many crowds, so many kind of, say, methodology. But it is necessary, but to say, we don't need the method or tool for the sake of method. We must understand the business. We must understand the problem. For that problem, for that subject, for that strategy, what tool is necessary like this? Business and TQM. We had a very bad experiment in 1982. 1982, we had a very big boom of TQM. At that time, see, now this is, you see, 1980, TQM come to be very, at that time we said TQC. TQC will become, you see, NBC program, American TV program, pick up this. They make us a video, and then it is, say, it is broadcast through the TV program all over the US. And then talk about that, how Dr. Deming helped Japan, and also how TQC helped. And then now that the US start to learn from Japan. First we learn from US, and then we develop this. But now that, say, after 1980, US pay attention to Japanese TQC, and then they try to run it. And then, at that time, say, interesting point is that press people are very indifferent about Japanese industrial activity. So that, say, 1960, 70, we did, many companies did great effort about TQC. But to say, it was not reported through the newspapers or TV. But now that, say, 1980s, this was, say, transferred to US. And then in US, there are so many reporters from Japan. So those reporters send the news from US, say, and say, now look at American company. They are earning from us. Okay? So at that time, that we generally, our society considered that we must learn from US, but we have nothing to teach from US. But the 1980s, now that the journalists start to say that, so many, you see, American companies to learn about Japan, and they implemented this. And then Japanese press, Japanese desk of the newspaper, so on, considered it a kind of the news, and then public. Almost every day, we can always find many kind of, say, newspaper find the word of TQC. And then come to be boom. And then many industries that, say, rush to, say, come to JSC, and then do it. And then at that time, really, they are implementing TQC and business. If you implement TQC, then automatically business going successful. It's kind of the fashion, okay? So you don't play the golf for the sake of the club, okay? It is golf and club, not club and golf. So maybe from this you can understand that. So it is very good thing. So some of you are very interested about TQC or TQM, but you are not necessary for that. Do it, TQM and business. But you may consider business and TQM. This is very important thing that. And also another interesting that. So in the case, if you go to business and TQM, very important thing is the business strategy. So in the case that we have the two kinds of strategy. One is category A strategies. Another one is category J strategies. Category A strategy means that, say, you make a decision, and then make a decision, and then strategy becomes immediately effective. This type of strategy is called category A strategy. For example, the typical case is the purchasing. Say, you are today purchasing that from, say, A companies, but B company, a competitor, propose that. So now that, say, if you buy from switching from A company to us, we discount 1%. 1% discount is it's a major material. It means that it is mainly, you see, profit. Immediately comes to be the 1% increase the profit. Profit is, say, like 5% or something like those kind of things. 5% profit rate increase 1%. It's very big. Okay? So do it. And then the top management decided to switch from company A to company B. Then it comes to be effective. This is a category A strategy. But on the other hand, category J strategy, it is decision making and company-wide nothing. The decision making. After that, you need that company-wide effort and then effective. For example, quality improvement. Okay? Top management are very much interested about TQC, decided, okay, let's introduce TQM in our company, make a decision. Then 1 month later, 2 months later, every people work for the quality improvement. Then is it immediately defective reduced? No. We must collect the data, analysis, action, so on. At least takes 6 months by company-wide effort. Only it is not decided only by decision. Nothing happened. Decision plus company-wide effort. That is category J strategy. Okay. By the way, so now you understand we have two kinds of strategies. But by the way, generally we say, if I say category A, the other one should be category B, but I say category J. Why? Is it my mistake? Do you know why I use the term of category A and category J? Yes, America and Japan. Okay? So that as I mentioned that 1980, the US started to pay attention to that, to say, the Japanese way. And then, at that time, you see, how do you understand my English? Can you follow me, my English? You see, you may hear, you may talk many Japanese, but my accent are a little bit different from them. Maybe my accent is strange. See, because my accent is not Japanese English, okay? My accent is Iranian accent. I say Iranglish. Because that to say, in 1975, until before 1980, I did not speak English at all. But 1975, I was invited to Iran. And then totally 3 years, totally say 6 months, I was there. And then I learned English from them. So my English is Iranian accent. So Iranglish, not Japanese. So and then in this case, that is in the middle of 1970. And then afterwards, that to say, I was invited to various, say, Asian countries, so on. So I have some experience of the international cooperation, maybe in Japan, as maybe one of the first runners in that point. So by the reason, 1980s, America started to say, try to study Iran from Japan. So I was, say, frequently invited. So that to say, in the middle of 1980 to the middle of 1990, 10 years, almost every 2 months, I was U.S. So that is very tough. But my policy is that to say, I was invited to say, go abroad. But I never closed the class. I have never said, how do you call it, that make a close the class. Always I had a class. It's quite difficult. Of course, at that time, we didn't have an online system. But many cases I use that video method so on. So my proud of that to say, I go to US or other countries so often, but I never close the class. And say, when I work in the Tokyo University of Science, 22 years, just I have one class closed because I had a high fever during 20 years, you see. So I had one. I was quite healthy, but in December, one day, I had, by this reason, I closed the class, okay, absent the class like this, okay? But so in the way, so, and then when I go to US, and then I'm very curious about, I'm to transfer TQM, but at the same time, I'm trying to steal. What is the secret of American success? America took the leadership of the quality, many areas, management, so on. And then this is what I found. American management is very much decision-oriented, but very poor to make effort. Okay? I think that is we Asian people must pay attention to that. We Asia had a much better know-how we have for the teamwork, including QC circles. Okay? So, and then, okay, yeah, maybe. Now, let me talk a little bit about the quality award. So now I'm, what kind of, role, what I played about the Deming Prize. Let me simply introduce. 1979, to the time, I became the member. So I'm rather quite, it was when 39. I'm not the youngest, maybe not many. Many of them become the member around 45 years old, so on. But says very few examiner who had become member around 35, so on. But I'm one of the youngest. That. And 97, I awarded the Deming Prize for individuals. And then 2004-2007, I'm chairman of the Deming Application Prize Subcommittee. You see that today we have the two kinds of Deming Prize. One is Deming Prize. Another one is Deming Grand Prize. We have two. But it used to be, we call it that Deming Application Prize and the Nippon Quality Control Prize. But this name changed. So, but in my, when I was the chairman, at that time it was called Deming Application Prize. So today it is just a Deming Prize. I was the chairman about that. And also that after that, I work at the chairman of the selection committee for Deming Prize for individual. This is the individual prize. So I'm doing 10 years for this. And then now I'm an advisor. So maybe in this way, I'm one of the few persons who are very much involved about that, the leadership of the Deming Prize Committee. So now from this point is that let me explain, let me share that what kind of thing running. So now that when I think about the meaning of Deming Prize challenge, in this case, I was very influenced. You see, in 1964, Tokyo invited Olympic first time. At that time, I was a student. Then at that time that I remember, every part of Tokyo, the under construction for Olympic Games. Olympic Games just 2 weeks, okay? For these 2 weeks, And then the area for many foreigners come, limited. Not all part of Tokyo, but to say every part of Tokyo was underground. Why? I had a very big question. In the case, much more, and then also just weeks. So it means that to say, it just put to say, we use a plywood, say, plywood very well, and then painted and so on, very beautifully. I'm very ashamed, but really I thought about that. I'm so stupid, okay? But I really. But later, I read a book of that, to say, governor of Tokyo. So he describes, say, Olympic game was invited not for the sake of Olympic Games, but it was invited for city planning of Tokyo. After the World War II, Tokyo was very destroyed, okay? And then, as I mentioned, people are very much problem about the hunger. So first problem is the hunger, okay? And also that, to say, roof, prevent from the rain. So in this situation, it's very difficult to think about that, to say, city planning. The road should be here, or road size such and such, like those kind of things. Those kind of things cannot, it's no time to think about that. So it's a very poor situation. So, and then Olympic, if we do that Olympic, people have become very cooperative, had a same direction. Okay. Utilizing this, so that to say, I understand it. Olympic game, Tokyo Olympic was invited, main reason is that for city planning and implementation. Okay? In the case of that quality award or Deming Prize award, it's something similar. You see, each company that say growing, so on, but say it's not, some area is very strong in production, but very poor in the R&D, and also poor in the marketing, and also cooperation among the department very poor, many kind of weakness. So in the case that say, in this situation, if you use a quality award, and then to make the company have a common direction. So in the case of that, say, we are challenging Deming Prize, not only for the sake of obtaining Deming Prize, but also for the sake of realizing business excellence through customer satisfaction by improving the corporate constitution, including management culture, people's thinking, and the management system. So, I sum up this. Business success through TQM with Deming Prize challenge as a catalyst. Deming Prize is not objective. Deming Prize is a catalyst. Our objective is the business success. Through and then TQM is the method. So, and then let me send a word to you. Promote TQM for the sake of business success of Bangladesh companies with Kano BSTQM award as a catalyst. Must not promote TQM for the sake of only challenging Kano BSTQM award. Thank you very much. Donovan. So if you have any question, and I don't know about the time schedule, it's okay for me, but if you have a question, I am free to answer that. Of course, comment also, welcome. Okay, thank you, yes.
Thank you, sir. Once again, Your presence here truly means a lot to us. Can we have, once again, a huge round of applause for Professor Kano, please? So, as you all know, Professor Dr. Ihsanul Haq, who is not present with us here today, and that is due to some unavoidable circumstances. Sir, if you have turned into the event virtually, just know your presence here is being highly missed. He has a message to convey to the audience, and that will be read out by Professor Amina Begum, Member, National Steering Committee. Ma'am, would you please come onto the stage and convey the message? Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening, Professor Dr. Noriaki Kano. As you heard the announcement, I am here to read the message from Professor Dr. Ihsanul Haq, Chairman of KBQA, National Steering Committee. So I am reading it on his behalf. It gives me a great pleasure to address you all today as the chairman of the steering committee on the occasion of the Kano Bangladesh Society for Total Quality Management, BSTQM, Quality Award, KBQA, launching ceremony. This event makes a significant milestone in our journey towards promoting quality and excellence across various sectors in Bangladesh. Quality is the cornerstone of sustainable development and continuous improvement. The establishment of the KBQA is a testament to our commitment to fostering a culture of quality and recognizing the outstanding efforts of organizations and individuals who have excelled in their respective domains. This award is designed to inspire and encourage all stakeholders to embrace quality management principles and drive positive change in our society. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the BSTQM for their relentless efforts in championing quality initiatives and organizing this prestigious award. Their commitment to promoting quality management practices and creating awareness about their importance has been instrumental in driving excellence across industries, institutions, and services. The KBQA serves as a platform to honor and acknowledge those who have demonstrated exceptional commitment and achieved remarkable results in quality management. It will not only celebrate their accomplishments, but also inspire others to follow their footsteps and strive for excellence. By recognizing and showcasing exemplary practices, we can create a knowledge-sharing ecosystems that will foster innovation, collaboration, and overall development. I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to the winners of the inaugural KBQA. Your dedication, hard work, and commitment to quality have set exemplary standards for others to emulate. Your achievements will inspire a new generation of professionals and organizations to embrace the principles of quality management and contribute to the growth and development of our nation. I would also like to express my gratitude to the esteemed panel of judges who have meticulously evaluated the nominations and selected the most deserving recipients. Your expertise and dedication in assessing the submissions have ensured a fair and transparent process upholding the integrity of the KBQA. I encourage all organizations, institutions, and individuals to actively participate in the KBQA in the coming years. Let us seize the opportunity to learn from each other, share best practices. Together, we can create a culture where quality is not just a measure of success, but an integral part of our everyday work. On this momentous occasion, I would like to thank all the stakeholders, including sponsors, partners, and volunteers, for their invaluable support in making this event a reality. Your contributions have been instrumental in the success of the KBQA launching ceremony. As we embark on this exciting journey, let us remain steadfast in our commitment to quality and continuous improvement. I am confident that the KBQA will serve as a catalyst for positive change, inspire innovation, and propel our nation toward greater heights of success. Thank you all for your presence and participation. I wish you an inspiring and memorable KBQA launching ceremony. On behalf of Professor Dr. Engineer Ehsanul Haq, Chairman KBQA National Steering Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now from the audience, I would like to call on stage Mr. Asif Ashraf, Managing Director, Urmi Group, and Director of BGMEA. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you very much for inviting me here. I know how difficult it is to talk after Professor Kano. So I won't take too much time. Although you said that we should not start TQM forgetting the BSTQM, KBAQ award, but I'm sure even if we start do that, a lot of improvement will happen and a lot of factories will get improved. I mean, we can get a lot of things new by even for participating in it. You said that you practiced a lot of Damon projects or the Tokyo Olympic, not to get the Olympic done, but to improve the entire Tokyo. So we can also take that example and introduce that. I am from BGMEA, the biggest R&D sector, the garments exporter sector. Here we face challenges every day. Our customers want a better product. They want it at a faster time with low carbon emission, but at a lower price, everyday low price. This can be managed only if we can introduce the TQM in a right manner. That can help us to attain that goal. Fortunately enough that we are doing it because we are the second largest exporter in the world after China, although the gap is pretty big. They do about 29-28%, we do about 7%. But still there's room for us to improve. So this is how we can achieve that. And here I've got a suggestion to BSTQM that we should form a committee consisting of RMG, academia, and BSTQM people to find out where are the areas of improvement, which will be a continuous one, and attain the goal, beat China someday. I will not talk anything more. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak here. Thank you.
Up next, I would like to now call our guest who is present here, Ambassador Masood Mannan, who's the Secretary General of FBCCI, to come onto the stage and share a few words with us. Thank you. Sir, would you please come to the stage?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much. First of all, let me thank the organizers of Kano BSTQM Quality Award Launching Ceremony for inviting BCCI to this August gathering in the presence of no other than Dr. Noriaki Kano. It's a great honor and privilege for me to be present here with Professor Emeritus of Tokyo University of Science. I had the unique opportunity of doing one environmental law course in Kushiro City, Japan, long time back when I was a young diplomat. But the main thing is today we are going to have something from our very best friend, no other than Japan. Japan, from the beginning of our independence in 1971, actually extended their all-out cooperation to not just rebuild Bangladesh, because when Bangabandhu took the leadership after coming back from the prison in Pakistan, actually Japan came forward from the very beginning with all its development assistance, and also side by side with few more countries, they helped us to build our garment industry. There are representatives from BGMEA, so they will support me that from the very beginning, 2 or 3 countries helped us to build this big industrial success story of Bangladesh by buying our product and at the same time encouraging us to do what you want us to do, quality product. One day I was walking in France a few years ago. Somebody came forward and asked me, "Where are you from?" I told them, "From Bangladesh." "Do you know, quality-wise, with all our garment industry products, now you are the best in the world." I said, "But quantity-wise, we are still not." "So what? You are now going to be soon, even quantity-wise, very, very big," which the BGMA representative has just said. Though we are behind China, I served in China also, but one day, inshallah, we'll also catch up this gap, and we will also try to become number 1. Coming from FBCCI, I should say something. Tomorrow is the election for the new leadership, just tomorrow. That is 31st July. So the president, vice president, everyone is busy. So the Secretary General is here. We want to thank especially Professor Kano for coming all the way and launching this great award for quality. Bangladesh, as well as FBCCI, has completed 50 plus years of journey. Bangladesh as an independent country, and FBCCI as the apex body of all the business people and organization of Bangladesh. So we both believe, Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina believes, and the FBCCI leadership believes in improving quality all the time, and you are encouraging us with your kind presence, Excellency, that we should have this kind of recognition on a regular basis. So though Engineer Ihsanul Haq is not present here today, I thank him. I thank all the organizers here who gave me an opportunity to speak for a few minutes. And I thank once again Japan and its people who have always supported us from the very beginning of our independence to develop steadily and improve our quality. One of the big example, the very new metro rail. And also you helped us in a big way in building the bridges, starting with the Bangabandhu Bridge, which is also known as the Jamuna Bridge on the mighty river Brahmaputra. There are plenty where Japan came forward and helped us, not just developing and buying our ready-made garments, but helping us to build our infrastructure, build our factories, and whatnot. Many students, including my friends, have studied in the great city of Tokyo, as well as in other universities all over Japan. So I think this understanding and fellowship and fraternity will continue in years to come, or I will say, with a hope, forever. So thank you very much, Excellency. Thank you, BSTQM. And once again, thank you, Kano-san. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are nearing the end of our ceremony tonight. But before that, Professor M.R. Kabir, President, Bangladesh Society for Total Quality Management, and Member Secretary, National Steering Committee, NSC, would like to come up on stage to express his vote of thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. I think this is the time to give vote of thanks. If you want to listen to the shortest vote of thanks, then thank you. And if it's the longest one, thank you very much. Okay. Okay, having said all this, we had a wonderful evening. And today's that launching program, where our chief guest was supposed to be our Honorable Minister for Ministry of Commerce, Mr. Tipu Munshi MP. But due to his some unexpected activity and the meetings outside Dhaka, he could not be here. But anyway, it was his great support we got from him, and because of that, we could proceed and got this occasion today. Our main attraction of today, Professor Kano, and being a President BSTQM, I'm so proud that all my previous president, including me, is a direct student of him. So, and again, seeing him, explaining the quality, every time I listen, I learn something new, sir. So it is a great occasion, and I know you are extremely busy traveling across the world, and even despite his business, whenever he heard Bangladesh, he pays little bit, I give the time. And because of his commitment and support, we could launch today's program. So thank you very much, sir, for your support and your presence. And that definitely inspires all of us. In this program, the new national, the steering committee, I express my gratitude to all members of the National Steering Committee for their presence and also for their support. I express my gratitude of all the dignitaries who are present here. Without your support, without your presence, nothing can be done. So thank you so much. I know all of you are extremely busy, but even then, you stayed with us and supported us. Also, our sponsors, the financial support that we received from all the companies, we're extremely grateful to them that they have supported us, and also hope that in future you'll be supporting us the same way. I thank all the people that behind the screen worked hard, our committees, different committees, the executive committee of the BSTQM. Thank you, everyone, because you supported us, and all together we could make it a success. Finally, last but not the least, the press, our media people, both electronic and the print media, for covering the entire program. So with these few words, I'd like to finish my word of thanks, because I know after that we'll have some press briefing Professor Kano will be answering questions. So, and that will be followed by dinner. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, from the media, if anybody would like to ask questions to Professor Kano, they have their opportunity to do so. So is anybody interested? Okay. Okay. Okay, I guess many of the media persons have left. So moving on. Now, as a token of appreciation, we will be handing a crest to Professor Kano. And for that, I would like to call on stage some guests who are as follows. Engineer M.A. Awal, and followed by Professor Dr. A.K.M. Muazzam Hussain, Professor Dr. M.R. Kabir, and lastly, Mr. A.M.M. Khairul Bashar. I would like to request everybody to come onto the stage. And of course, Professor Noriaki Kano, sir.
Small token recognition from BSTQM.
ডিনারের দাঁত দিয়ে দাও, এটা খুলে দেবো।
Ladies and gentlemen, we have marked the end of this beautiful ceremony. It was a pleasure being your master of ceremony for the night. Till next time, I'm bidding you a farewell from my end. And now, dinner will now be served shortly in the halls as follows: Meghna and Shurma. It's to my left as you exit the hall. And I would like to request the guests who are present here to take your seats gradually. Thank you so much. Thank you once again.
জাপানিজ ভাষায় তো কোনটা বুঝি না।
আমি অফ করতে পারবো মনে হয় স্যার। অফ করে দিব?
না, এই যে অফ করলে এটা দিলে তো ওই যে
এটা হবে স্যার, এটা হবে। এটা হচ্ছে হ্যাঁ মাঝখানে লাগবে না? না কেবলটা মানে চার্জারটার কি কারণ? আমি খুলে